I am Amin Exodus, the elder. It is only befitting that on this holy day, before you soldiers in arms, in our ancestral temple, that I remind you that our warfare is based on deception. Therefore, when able to attack, we will seem unable. When using our forces, we will seem inactive. When we are near, we will make them believe we are far. We must use baits to entice our enemies, feign disorder, and crush them. If they are of superior strength, we shall evade them. If our enemies are of bad temper, we shall seek to irritate them. We will pretend to be weak, that they may grow arrogant. If they are taking it easy, we shall give them no rest. If their forces are united, we shall separate them. We will attack them where they are unprepared. We shall appear where we are not expected. My telling of the following events is a true account of the rise of our royal family. I tell this story to enlighten the minds of this generation's warriors, to remind them of what we have inherited. For the fighting spirit of our soldiers shall be uplifted. For a people to know where they are going, they must first know from where they came. Remember, every state, every power, and every group that held and shall hold sway over the minds, bodies, and souls are either republics or kingdoms, and ours is a great and mighty kingdom. May the divine in you rise up to that which is divine in the universe. So there they were, stationed on the top floor of the housing projects named after Stanley Gates Stockholm, a multi-billionaire philanthropist that relieved his guilt by contributing to poor and stilling children's tears. There was a joke amongst the blood-sucking politicians at City Hall that this trashy, poverty-stricken side of the city was properly zoned off and called the Stockholm District. Stockholm Towers, commonly called the Towers, like the rest of the city, had fallen to all the social ills that one could possibly imagine. All this chaos and confusion revolved around three things: corruption, corruption, and more corruption. The city's glorious history was a long-running legend in the suffering minds of its inhabitants. The 5-bedroom apartment became Hades' backed-up toilet on Earth. It was centered and overlooked a human wasteland that seemed to go on for miles. The great door to nowhere. The ugly that ugly does. It all went down and never came up for air in this high-rise of spiritual, moral, physical decay. And like endless days and endless nights before and the endless days and nights to come, the unceasing frantic knocking on the door once again announces the arrival of crackheads, desperately trying to get high. Sims and Lily, mostly sold cooked up cocaine that went by the street names Cook Up, Base, Hard, or Crack. One of the many mind-altering, mood-changing substances sold in the city. Although it economically freed some, it enslaved all. Its users became demonic tools of malice, fraud, and violence. The quick highs smoked in a pipe brought temporary solace to desperate people. The crack house pumped out victims that were so far down in the toilet in hell that when they looked up, they were actually looking down. Just like lost and disoriented scuba divers who continue to dive deeper, thinking that they are reaching the surface. They just can't follow the bubble to rise to the top. The unbearable pressures of life eventually surrounds them, and their world implodes. But where there's life, there is hope. So the optimists claim.